Ball world, welcome back to the B-Ball Blues Show after a little teeny tiny hiatus. I don't have the best vocabulary in the world, so I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I did not do a new show last week. That was the first time in 20 weeks that I didn't do a brand new show, which tripped me out only because when I started this whole thing, when the pandemic kicked in, I just figured this was just going to be a little thing that we did for a little while and until things kicked down. But man, whether the pandemic ended tomorrow or not, I'm going to keep doing this because I've been having fun doing it. And people have been so great about coming on and giving me good stuff to work with. So I am just going to keep rolling it on, including tonight. I've got a very exciting show to jump into with everybody. But first, I forgot to tell you all that I am the captain of this ship, Neil Wool Dog. That's right. That might have given you a little hint of where we are going with the show. We are going all wool tonight. I have got what is simply known as the committee here with us. So I'm going to run them down real quickly, starting with, well, I've got to introduce myself to this person. Miss Faith Penn, my name is Neil McDonald. I don't know if you remember me, but you were on my show once before. I reached out to Faith. I heard her do an interview on this podcast called Rolling with Smooth, and I was all impressed. I thought she got out there and told the world what's what. And I reached out, I was like, Faith, man, that was a great interview. It's like, oh, thank you. Who dis? I was like, oh man,
wait, Neil, I would like to thank you for shouting out my Booth podcast. So thank you for the plug.
You're welcome.
Hey, LaKisha, you were supposed to wait till your turn.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I'll get to Miss LaKisha.
Hey.
But hey, Miss Faith Penn, welcome back. Thanks for coming on the show again. I appreciate it. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and thank you for inviting us.
You're very welcome. We also have, and I'm not sure, after I made it very clear that I thought Wool should even have this person removed from the entire organization, but we have what is considered to be the best offensive player ever from the female side of things.
No.
Miss Kalari Jackson in the house. Kalari, what's happening?
What up, Neil, dog?
Oh, I'm just chilling, talking mess. One thing I can confirm, I will say Kalari is one of the best female hitters ever, but she simply is offensive if anybody doesn't know. Oh, come on, you can laugh a little. That was a silly joke. I'm just kidding.
I'm laughing at you.
All right, yeah, right? I was hoping you'd laugh with me, though, not at me.
I love you.
It's all good. We also have with us the star from Sweating with LaKisha, Miss LaKisha Holmes in the house. Hey, LaKisha, good to meet you. I feel like I know you.
You too.
I know you kind of. Check out your videos when you're posting, out there working. I did. But welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming on. We also have Miss Rebecca Lewis. Hey, Bex, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. I had to have you on. I got to say, you've been one of the most faithful fans of this show since the beginning. And so I appreciate you just for that. You're going to get more time than everybody else tonight just based on that.
See, I mean, I'm sorry you're out.
That's biased, don't you think?
It is biased.
Oh, yeah. I got issues. What? You guys didn't know that coming in? And then we also have, and I just found out she's a member of the Indy Thunder also, Miss LaFon, right? LaFon?
Yes, sir.
Just learning that name today, son. I'm terrible with names. That is my weakness. That was one of my 100 weaknesses, I guess, in the end. So I want to run through, we got some stuff. We're going to talk about the Iowa Invitational Tournament that's going to be coming up next year. I know it's a little early to jump into that, but I'll explain why I think it's important to do so tonight. But let's dive into each one of you a little bit, get to know a little bit. I'm going to start going back in the other order. We'll start with you, Allie. How did you find beat baseball and end up with the Indy Thunder?
Well, I used to date one of the players on the team,
All right.
and he and I dated for about 2 years and unfortunately split up, and I'm still going strong with it. He just happened to be on the Indy Thunder and wanted to share it with me, and I fell in love with it and kind of took the baton and ran with it for my own.
It seems to be the case with so many of us. It's like, who knows what's ever going to get us to find the sport. But once we do, there's so many of us. I mean, the ones that stick around just get hooked. There's something about it that hooks you, and you stick around. So I'm glad you stuck around. What about you, Mrs. Lewis? I'm sorry. Rebecca, how did you find the sport?
Adam Rodenbeck, we've been longtime friends and teammates, and he took me to a demonstration a long time ago, it feels like now. And I actually met my husband, Kyle, because they were roommates. So, and I went to my first World Series. It was in Georgia as a volunteer. And then since then, I've been playing and loving it and can't get it out of my system.
Yeah, so for those of that don't know, Rebecca is married to Kyle Lewis, who's also a player on the Thunder. And that was kind of gonna one of my questions about that. I was wondering if you found Kyle because of beat ball, or if you found beat ball because of Kyle. It sounds like it was kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Found both because of Adam.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Adam.
Well, I'm glad all these years later you'll still thank him. That's good. That's good. Good sign. Miss LaKisha Holmes, what about you? You're in that same kind of situation. What's your story?
Yeah. Well, I actually began playing beat ball when I was 11, and I played for like 2 years, and then I took a break. And then I went to play goal ball, and I went to college. And then I don't know what made me come back, but Atlanta was starting a team. And so I went to play with Atlanta. And then for some reason, well, I mean, I know why, but we disbanded. and then I met Axel. Well, I kind of been knew Axel. That's kind of a different story. But then when I was pregnant with Zane, on my year off, they asked if I would come play with the Jets. So then I was like, of course. I mean, I couldn't really say no because my boyfriend was playing for the Jets. So that's how I kind of started, I guess.
As I was preparing today, I was like, I haven't really heard a lot about LaKisha playing, though. It's like, oh, yeah, well, she was kind of distracted with having these 2 little babies.
Yeah.
Years, so.
I was pregnant back to back, so I didn't
It's possible she didn't have time for beat ball in the last couple of years, maybe. Kalari Jackson, what's your story? You've been around forever. How do you find it?
Yes, I'm one of the old people. I first found beat baseball at the age of 9. It was a guy named Tommy Pike. He represented the Chicago Park District, and they came around to different grammar schools. So then they came to my grammar school, and man, he put this beeping ball in my hand, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. And I just fell in love with it. It was like a really pivotal time for me because I had lost my vision like 3 years before, and it was like suddenly. So I was angry. I was like an angry kid, Neil. I know you don't believe this, but I was an angry kid, all right? Like, I was beating up my sighted cousins, trying to throw my little cousins down the steps. I was like, boxing, like, oh, I was bad. And at 9, I found beat baseball, and I was able to like run freely without someone telling you to stop. Because after I lost my vision, my parents got real protective of me, and I couldn't run. So no one's telling me to stop. I was able to hit this ball, and then tackle a base. And so I was getting like an anger out. And also I was real competitive already. So it was that And my parents, they was softball players, so it's kind of like baseball was already in my blood. So from there, I played beat ball every year on the like little kid level through the Park District. And then when I was 16, I joined the Chicago Comets, and I've been with them for 20 years. And my friends, Jose Martinez and Janusz, at the time, they was the ones that pulled me in. So, so that is my story.
I mean, you know, I haven't played now in 11 years, and I've spent a lot of time on the field, you know, playing against you. So I knew that you, you know, you've been around the game a little bit. I didn't realize you got involved with it so young.
Yeah, it was. I mean, of course, it wasn't on the level of, you know, the NBBA. You know, it was like little league, so they will call your name as opposed to a number. And I used to always be in the middle of the field because I was the best. I was the aggressive one, right? I used to get mad at little kids. They wasn't moving fast enough, so I'm running all over the field. And most times they was hitting off a tee, so, you know, it's kind of going up the center. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
but
cool.
yeah, but I've been with the Comets for 20 years, so.
Yeah, you have been a loyal player to that team. I dig. and you're another one also that you're married to a player also, Christopher Jackson.
Yes,
correct?
My husband Chris. Yeah, and Chris, he would tell you himself. He came to beat ball for me. Like he was feeling, we was dating, and he was like, well, you know, can we go out this Saturday? I was like, oh no, I got beat baseball. He was like, oh my God, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, serious? I don't miss no Saturdays. I mean, but after 4 p.m.
You ain't all that.
6 p.m. Right. I was like, after 6 p.m. we can go. He was like, wow, like that. So he's like, what is this about? So he came out and he ended up liking it and stuck with it too. So.
And does he work as hard as he claims? Every time I see a post from him on Facebook, he's like, getting that work in, sweating, yeah. Is that guy just that hard a worker?
He, you know what? We challenge each other, you know,
right.
So
right.
I try to challenge him. I'm a little bit more aggressive with it. I'm a little bit more disciplined. So I'll be trying to pull him along. But yeah, he do his little workout. I'll be trying to push him. Then he pushed me. So it's cool. Right. We getting his workout in. So.
Nice. Well, Miss Faith Penn, you know, you've been on the show before. You've given your history before. You had you had one of the stories that like stopped me in my track for a second when you talked to me about like having gotten hit, you know, like being out on the field, losing your eyesight from being hit by a ball or whatever, and like, you know, having to overcome that fear or just overcome that to get out and play b-ball or whatever. That was a stunning moment I remember listening back to just hear the shock of my own voice. Like, whoa, did you really just say that?
Yeah, I'm a soldier, yo.
I will give you that. Fighting soldier out there. You know, that's why you got wool starting. Yeah, out there fighting.
Well, I mean, I guess I could just say a little bit of how I got, but everybody, I guess, already knows since they heard me last time. But just really quickly, I first got started by Mr. Richie's fault. Blame Richie. Richie Flores.
Two things. Well, real quick. You don't have to be quick at all. It takes as much time as you want. But also, man, this guy Richie seems to have gotten like half a beat ball started playing beat ball.
I know, right? That dude, he brings everybody in. But yeah, I was in this mentoring program for the National Federation of the Blind. We took our students out to it wasn't really camping because we weren't in tents, we were in cabins, but we were out at this cabin place or whatever. And he brought his team at the time, which is the Austin Blackhawks. He brought his pitcher, which is Kevin Simpson at the time, and Kenny Whittier, and some of the players. He brought them down to do a demonstration for the mentees. And it was funny because Richie thought that all the kids were gonna fall in love with it and love it. Man, they were not interested. They're teenagers, they're interested in each other. So they're like, ooh, boys and ooh, girls. So they were not interested in baseball. And when I first picked up the bat. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna really like this, and I didn't like it. I was like, I was not interested. I was go ball all day every day, and I didn't think anything else of it. And then fast forward, I finally graduated from college and looked for work, couldn't find it, moved to Austin, and my first month in Austin, Richie is like, hey, you're gonna practice, and I was like, okay. So that's how I got involved with beat baseball.
This is, I guess, totally like, I don't want to go deep down a rabbit hole, but when you talk about being all about goal ball, did you have any like fear, because the goal ball's bigger and heavier? Did you have any fear of being hit, like any issues with playing goal ball?
No, I wasn't. At that time, after I lost my sight, I didn't play goal ball anymore. Not on a professional, not anything professional. It was all just recreational or whatever. So no, right. I didn't play anymore after I lost my sight. But it wasn't because I was afraid. It was just because I just didn't play. I just didn't play.
Yeah, and that's why I realized when I was asking the question, I was making it sound like you were afraid, and at no point in time when you've talked to me did you exhibit any fear or anything. Just being at least beat ball wise, it's smart.
Oh, let's be clear. Oh, I was afraid. Oh yeah, when I got involved in beat baseball. Heck yeah, I was afraid. I didn't want to be in the front. I didn't want to be in the front. I'm like, heck no, this ball is gonna fly in my face. I really did have to overcome it. So I said, put me in the bag, and that's how I got used to being out there with a flying object coming at my face again. As they put me in the bag, and then finally I got used to it, and then I started playing in the center. So that's how that happened.
You're not alone in that, though. I think a lot of players experience that. In fact, I mentioned you being on the podcast Rolling with Smooth. Zach Bueller was on there, and he talked about the same thing. He wanted to be in the back as he was learning defense because he didn't want that thing coming at him. So that's a common thing. Well, all right, I want to dive into this Iowa Invitational. That's what I'm going to call it for now, because I don't think it has an official name. But getting people caught up because the Ames Iowa World Series that was supposed to be held this year, the 2020 World Series, was canceled. The NBBA and the organizers in Iowa, in Ames, Iowa, to be specific, are going to try hosting an 8-team invitational tournament that I guess is kind of try to make up for having to cancel this World Series tournament. And one of the things that they mentioned going back in May, when I first heard the board meeting of the World Series being canceled, is at this invitational they wanted to open the door to Wool coming in and doing their usual exhibition. And I was like, cool, I like that they are thinking about Wool or whatever. And same thing when the board meeting just here recently in early August, when they had the meeting, they brought it up, and again they are opening the door to Wool showing up. Which I think is cool, and none of my thoughts are going to be attacking any of the organizers, because I don't think that they're thinking this out. That's not where I'm coming from, but I do want to make them aware, and anybody else that's willing to support Wool, all that would have to happen for this to take place. So first, if I remember right, Rebecca and Faith, you guys are co-chairs of Wool, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So I'll first ask you two, and everybody's welcome, no matter what we're talking about here. You're all welcome to jump in. But I'd like you guys as the co-chairs to first, what's your initial response to being invited to it?
Well, I had heard a rumor about having a Wool game during that competition. So I contacted a higher up in the organization, and they said that they were just thinking about either having some kind of recognition for us or some kind of demonstration, because I think it would be almost impossible to have a Wool game because we're from all over the U.S. and there are only 8 teams I believe, that are going to be going to this. So
Right.
that's what I know about the situation.
Right.
And then I guess my thoughts was first, my initial thought was thank you for thinking of the women and trying to include us. So I was like, thank you. But then after thinking about it, it's similar to Rebecca's. It will be highly impossible for this to happen because we're from all over the place. And even now, even when we have our exposition.
Oh, hello? Faith? No, boo.
She
Do I have
might
the
be.
rest of you?
Nah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What about everybody else? Rebecca?
I'm here.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Allie,
I think we
I'm
just
here.
lost Faith.
LaKisha.
Oh,
Oh, she's.
no,
I
I'm
think.
here.
Oh, there she go.
All right. I think you might be having internet problems or something, Faith, because we lost you a little bit.
Oh, really? I could hear you guys clearly.
Oh.
No, we couldn't hear you.
I thought you guys could hear me. Where did I leave off at?
We got you clear. Initially that you appreciate them thinking about you, but like Rebecca said.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be impossible. It'll be pretty much impossible for us to have something like that, just because we're spread out all over the United States, and even at the World Series, at the World Series when we have our game, we're already struggling to keep players and things of that nature. So just imagine if we have 8 teams that show up at the Invitational and there are no women playing for those teams, then there is no wool.
Right. And that actually, like my own thoughts, like the first thing I thought of is like there's going to be 8 teams, and we have no way of knowing what 8 teams. It's supposed to be first come, first serve. Once those 8 teams are in, we don't know. We don't have any way of knowing like a number of how many wool players. Do you have any idea like how many teams your wool members are spread out amongst?
There's only two wool teams, and I just wanted to make sure everybody's clear on this. Wool, the 2 women's team, the Bombshells and the Divas, right? We're not competitive teams. It's for an exposition game, and that's it. Because if we were competitive, we would be playing throughout the week during the World Series.
Right.
But there's also the Divas and the Bombshells. And right now we don't have a definite number because our numbers keep fluctuating. So it's
Right.
one year we may have, on the Bombshells at least, we may have 7 players. And the next year we might have 11 players. Or one year we had 17 at one point. So, I mean,
Right.
it's all over the place. So we don't really know. We don't have a definite answer.
Yeah. No, and I didn't expect. I guess if I wanted an exact answer, I would have like sent that to you ahead of time. I was more wondering if you just had like a guesstimate, and just to further prove the argument of how difficult it would be to get enough of the wool players there, because we're talking normally about an exhibition, and so
Right.
I'm thinking their plan is to have a 2-day tournament with 8 teams, which in my mind means that there's going to be like 4 game times on one day and probably 4 game times the next day. I'm not sure how they planned it, to do it overall, but I'm thinking there's going to be at least 4 game times. And like when would they do the exhibition at 8:00 at night when nobody's playing after just playing 4 games? People aren't going to stay out there, at that point. And I don't know. I don't want to drag everybody out there to do an exhibition. All the members of Wool to get out there and do an exhibition, to travel to Iowa when it's at 8:00 at night and everybody's gone home because they got more games again the next day. I guess so. Like my thought is, if you were able to do it, and it sounds like it doesn't seem realistic at this point. But if you were able to do it, like I was gonna say, let you guys do an exhibition both days. Like I would want to help you guys advocate to the NBBA. As far as if you were gonna try to do it, you know, what would make it worth it, I guess, is a better way to look at it. And like one, I think like the exhibition should be held, if it was going to be held, like in the middle of the day, like in between the second and third game, you know, have like an extra long lunch or something, rather than, you know, doing it at night. But doing that both days in a row is one idea I had. But also, like, Faith, when you were on the show last time, you said like kind of one of your ultimate dreams is to have a Wool team compete in the World Series. Would it be realistic in this situation to have a Wool team go compete in this tournament?
Well, and I wouldn't necessarily call the team a Wool team, but a ladies team. I think that might be realistic.
Yes,
Maybe a
very
ladies
realistic.
team.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that might be realistic, but not necessarily a Wool team. But definitely a team composed of all female players. I think that might be a little bit more realistic. We have something like that in the works right now. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos for the
Lady Bobcats.
The group. It's called the group is called the Lady Bobcats,
yep.
but I don't know if we are just called the Bobcats or the Lady Bobcats. We're still working.
Lady Bobcats.
Kalari says Lady Bobcats, but our jerseys just say Bobcats. So I'm like,
I think it's Lady Bobcats. That's what the name of the group is on Facebook, right?
Yeah, but our jerseys say Bobcats.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't seen a jersey, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you left when we got the jerseys last time. But anyway, but the jerseys say Bobcats. So, but I guess we're going to be the Lady Bobcats. Anyway, I think that might be a little bit more realistic than having an exposition game who only practices maybe once, twice a year, maybe. And I'm speaking regarding the Bombshells. And the only reason why the Bombshells can practice maybe once or twice a year is because the majority of the players are from Texas, and we're able to get together and practice. But the Divas, they don't have that advantage. And so, but the Lady Bobcats, they're doing, you know, they're making efforts to come together to practice on their own, and they have people willing to travel and go practice with them and things of that nature. So it appears as if that may be a little bit more realistic than having a Wool team play.
Right.
All right. Not just for me, because I obviously the way I've been laying things out might have confused the audience, and some of it I should probably get more clear also. So let's slow down for a second and like straighten out the I guess wording of everything. So Wool is like an organization, not.
Yeah, Wool is like it's a committee organization under the NBBA, and it's comprised of all female players from different teams, who are members of the NBBA. That is what Wool is. They come together. Wool was designed to create more playing time for women who don't have that much playing time during the World Series.
Right.
And so it's one game during the World Series. That's what Wool is.
Right.
And so it's not the Lady Bobcat. It's not a competitive.
It's not, and I knew that coming in. I'm sorry that I was making it sound like a team. Wool is an acronym for Women of Our League.
Yeah.
Right. So then inside that, so everybody knows, is there's the Southwest Bombshells and the Dynamic Divas. And Faith and I talked about this quite a bit when she was on the show before, because there's a lot of players in the Texas area, a lot of female players. So the Bombshells have had, as far as getting together and practicing, have had a big advantage over the Dynamic Divas, who are spread out a little more, as I understand it. The players aren't as close geographically and don't get the opportunity to practice as much. The Lady Bobcats that you're talking about, like, where does that fall in? I mean, is the Lady Bobcats just totally separate? It has nothing to do with Wool, or?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Wool. However, some of the players participate in the Wool game. Yeah, exactly. Some of the players participate in the Wool game, but the Lady Bobcats is 100% completely separate. It's something new that a couple people. I'm not the creator of it, but a couple people are putting it together to try to make it come together so we can make it happen. I believe the captain is Leah Warner. Leah Warner, she's the captain of the Lady Bobcat. She's out of New York.
Rochester.
Oh, Rochester, New York. She
she was the pioneer.
She played for the Rochester Pioneers.
Okay.
She played there for a little while, and then she went to other teams to play. So she's the captain. So if you ever want to get her on there to talk about it, that would be a good.
I'm trying to mix it up with everything, but this isn't going to be my last show. My last show featuring the women of our league. When I had Greg Lindbergh and Kathy Trutchell on from the Florida Bandits, from the the Braille Bandits. Sorry, I want to say their name correctly. One of the things I told Kathleen and the audience, I fell in love with this sport in the mid-'80s, 1986, when I found the sport, and I fell in love, and I immediately had a dream to win a championship playing this game, and I got to live beyond my dreams. I played on more good teams than I probably deserved to, and I just got to experience a lot of great things in this sport. And I realize now, and I don't know why I didn't realize it many years ago, but I realize now that if I was female, I wouldn't have had the same opportunity. And I'm ashamed of myself for not recognizing that much sooner. And I realize nothing I'm doing on this show makes up for that. But I'm going to jump in and promote the things that Wool or the Lady Bobcats or anybody else is trying to do in this sport. And that, I was kind of hoping that maybe the members of Wool being able to, whether it was combining the bombshells and the dynamic divas, or just getting one or the other, I was hoping that maybe it is possible to get something going at that invitational next year. And even if it's the Lady Bobcats that I didn't know about, I still want to have the same attitude about it. If we can have an all ladies team, all female team, however politically the right way to say it, I want to encourage the NBBA to just allow that team in. I mean, if they're planning to go to the World Series, they're going to get in anyways. But this Ames Iowa Invitational, it's an unusual thing. It's a unique event in a way, that was brought up from the World Series having to be canceled. But if there's a ladies team that could get to that tournament, I don't want them to fight for one of the 8 spots. I just want it given to them. And I've never been in favor overall of any of the teams or players just being given anything. We all kind of got to fight for the same thing. But, men and women in the sport of beep ball haven't been fighting on the same level. So in this case, I abandoned what I normally would say. And if there's a ladies team that could get into that it's realistic, that could play in that tournament, I want the NBBA to just give them that spot. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's not a question. It's not a question. I don't know. I've been talking forever. You guys respond, however.
No, thank you. I want to hear from, I want the rest of my committee to talk too. We haven't heard from Keisha or Allie or even Kalari or Rebecca that much regarding this. I know that Allie and Rebecca, they're not a part of the Lady Bobcats, but give your opinion, you guys, about what you guys think of what Neil just said.
First of all, Neil, I think you're I love it. I love the passion in your voice. I hear it, and that would be awesome if we can do something like that. I don't know if we could combine it would be a long shot to combine the bombshells and the divas or to get the ladies team there. I think that would be cool,
Yeah, no, any version of it. I mean, it doesn't. I didn't know coming into the show. I didn't know anything about the Lady Bobcats. You know what I mean? So that wasn't part of my plan. But I feel the same way. I mean, any all-ladies team that wants in that tournament, just give them a spot. Just give them a spot, and I don't want to hear anything from the male players. I don't, I don't care if any team feels like they should have had that spot, because man, again, as a male player, we get opportunity after opportunity.
Yes, absolutely.
And we need to step up here. I shouldn't be the only male talking about this, and even though I'm ashamed that I didn't recognize this as a problem, years ago, I'm not the only one who didn't recognize it. And I'm I just want to be one of the ones that is recognizing it now.
Well, Neil, I totally agree with you. Like saying, I've been playing in the league 20 years, and as you know, it was not a lot of female players. Not okay. This is a totally male-dominated league, and I was blessed to be under JT Herzog, who he didn't care. It's like I had to do it just like Gilbert, just like Warren, just like Hoodlum. I had to match them. I had to, so he didn't take no for an answer. So I had to challenge myself and get there,
Right.
And it is hard. It's extremely hard. I remember, this is a funny story, but I remember back in the day, Chicago Comets, we used to have a lot of players. So we broke up into two teams. It was the A team and the B team.
Right, I remember.
Right. And the A team was always that's the hoodlums, okay? That's David Smoker, Joe Smoker, Hoodlum, Wally, Warren, Gilbert. Warren. Right, exactly, right. And then, so you got all power hitters, right?
Yeah.
And the B team was people like myself. It was me, Jose Martinez, like players that we wasn't on that level, but we was trying to get there.
Right.
And coach used to really put us through drills, and we got drilled to death, and we had to fight. I had to fight. I had to compete to get there. And for a while, I did not make the starting lineup. I was not in the starting lineup.
Right.
In fact, our championship game, I came off the bench, and it was just, it was that time for me, and, I just captured it, came off the bench. But yeah.
Came off the bench and scored. Help your team win. Helped your team win.
Yeah. Yes. Came off the bench and scored. Yes.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Sorry. I know, that was on you. I remember, because when they described the play, I was like, I scored on Neil, dog. Right, So yeah. But no, it's hard, And I remember every year I thought I was about to make it to the 18. Like my hitting is there, everything. Then somebody comes, like Gio. Gio joined the team. Oh man, bumped me way back to the bottom. Right. Big G joined the team. And it's like, it's hard,
Yeah.
I've had, in addition to that, just the different issues you face in the league. I've had a coach, I'm not going to name. Going on?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I had a coach back in the day tell me that girls are not going to hit good in this league because their arms are too little. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm not surprised.
Man, I need to meet that person.
I remember feeling
haven't met me.
I'll tell you offline, Faith. But I remember feeling so insulted. I was like 20 or 21, and I'm like, no. I said, really? Because my mind, I was like, I'm going to make the offense line. I'm going to hit, I'm going to do it. And when he said that just like, wow. And it's like, wow, that's how really people thinking, so.
Yeah.
Well, so when you're going against that, plus there's not many women in the league, it's a lot we're fighting against.
Yeah, no, I know I started out in the 80s, and I know of teams in the 80s and into the 90s that simply would not have women on their team. So
right.
I know that was out there. I haven't heard of anything of that nature in years, but I wouldn't be surprised if the mentality is still somewhat out there. Rebecca,
and that's what I'm like happy to say, that like coming from that and to see it now that women are coming in the league. We got a lot of women coming in. Like women is more than when I started.
No, it seems like it. I mean, I haven't been out there in a while, but it seems like it. Like, when I started playing there, I don't know that there would have been enough women to start an organization like that. So
exactly.
Allie and Rebecca, you guys have anything to chime in on any of this?
I mean, I think it's really great that there is a female team starting. I mean, since I haven't been part of beatball for very long, I started in 2016, so I'm still very new at all of this.
Yeah.
But I think having this kind of representation in actual play versus having just an exhibition game of women playing against women, you know, having a female team out there playing against the predominantly male-dominated sport is going to be very empowering to so many people out there, and might even encourage more female teams to start forming and creating an actual women's league, or even just throwing us all in there with the big dogs, you know, because I definitely agree that women are way more underestimated, you know. I feel like that came out wrong, but women are definitely underestimated, you know, and it's not fair. So having this team is really going to help open eyes to a lot of people, I think.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I will definitely have to, you know, before too long, reach out. Hopefully you guys help me get in touch with some of the organizations with the Lady Bobcats and get that cracking. But if there's anything on any level that, you know, that I could do to help, you know, push this along, I mean, I'm a fan and a supporter, and I want to jump in where I can.
Yeah, we definitely support bringing awareness to that women don't always get a fair shot and trying to equal out the playing field. So thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you.
My pleasure. Like I said to Faith the first time she was on, like I literally think that people could come out to our World Series like a fan, you know, just somebody or a spectator that never heard of the sport and saw that their city was hosting the World Series. They could go spend an entire day watching the game and walk away and have no idea we're a co-ed sport. And
yeah,
I mean, when that's a reality and that's the truth, you know, I don't know. We all need to see where we could do better.
Yeah, and I'm really thankful for Wool because I played on a team for a long time, and I was the only lady player. We had spotters, but it was really amazing to meet other players and to make friends and be part of this organization. It helps to have other people like you to support you and for you to support them. So Wool is an amazing organization, and any woman that plays, you are welcome to join.
Yeah, nice. While I have all of you, I will start with you, Allie. What role do you play? You're on the committee. What role do you play on the Wool committee?
I am the membership chair, so I try and organize all of the tasks of all the volunteers. I try and keep track of all the rosters and all the players, and I've started doing this past season. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we couldn't implement any of it, but during our preseason kind of meetings and stuff, I was in charge of trying to get some ideas flowing to try and increase participation and outreach from the board to the membership. So basically, I guess I'm kind of a liaison between the board and the membership.
All right. Very nice. Miss LaKisha Holmes, I believe you're the secretary. Is that correct? You might have your phone muted. I don't even know if we still have LaKisha. It's been a while since I heard her voice. While we wait and see, Kalari, you do like all this.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right. So, LaKisha, what are you the secretary or something?
I'm here. I am. I take all the notes.
I mean, want to throw anything in, make that sound more interesting? You took long enough to get on for.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm teasing.
So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I took my video off too. So yeah, I'm the secretary. So I guess I'm kind of like I do take the notes, but I mean, what else do I do, guys?
Oh my
I
goodness.
Take minutes.
All right, let's stop. So Keisha being modest. Keisha being modest. Keisha, she is our secretary. She is our secretary, but Keisha, she keeps all of our notes in order. She makes sure she makes sure we all stay on task.
Yes.
She's sending out all the emails to everybody. So anything written in court, anything for written correspondence, Keisha's doing that. So she's the one who gathers all the information. She gathers all the information for our feature players.
I get a lot of help though.
She does. I mean, we help each other.
We all help each other. Right.
We really do. We help each other quite a bit. But I don't want Keisha.
Yeah.
I don't want Keisha to belittle herself. She is a key member to the community. So we would not be able to.
I do the feature player, so I get me and Rebecca do it because I collect the information for the bombshells and Rebecca does it for the divas.
Right.
And so, but Faith does a lot of editing. She's like a really good editor, like way better than I am. So I just collect the info and pass it on, and Faith does the rest. So we really do work together, though. Like it's like I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel like we work good together because it's kind of like we help each other. But what one person doesn't do, another person does. So it's like we kind of connect really well. So.
Now, I just take the notes. when I had Faith on the first time and she talked about the organization as a whole, I was impressed with how organized you all sound together. On a personal note, beatball wise, so once the kids get a little bit older or whatever, you get out of that stage. Are you going to get back involved in playing? Is that your plan?
Yeah. So I play for the Jets. I play whenever I need it, but I'm also involved with the Lady Bobcats. So I've been practicing with them. So I plan on getting more involved. It is a little harder though when the kids are smaller. But I'm hoping that family comes into play. But they're getting a little older. Like my son will be 3, so he's getting a little bit more independent. So I'm hoping I can get back into the game because it's like the thing that I can do that takes me out of like mommyhood, you know? I could be a beatball player, so I'm not just a mom. Yeah. You know? I don't know if that makes sense.
I've never been a mom, so it doesn't make complete sense. But no, I can relate to that. It gives you, you know what I mean? Everybody needs a break from life in any way that, you can get that. Any way you could get that's good.
For sure, yeah.
So, Miss Kalari, your role, I believe you're like the social media expert guru.
Yes, I'm the social media specialist.
I actually like the exposés that you put out on the players. I think are really cool.
And you know what? That's so. As everyone stated, we all work together. So pretty much, Keisha gets it together. Faith, those edits, we all like comment on it, approve it, then I post it. So it's not just I'm the one posting it, but I'm not the one writing it all. Like we all work together on this committee.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, I'm the social media person. I post things, just about the players and whatever else is going on, and I try to hit all the beatball groups and stuff like that. So.
Well, I did.
Hold on, wait, really quickly. She's being modest. She also is in charge of the website, the NBBA, what is it? NBBA.org/wool. That's our page. She also makes sure that that's up to date and accurate and current. And so don't belittle yourself. We would not be here without Kalari. We're a working team, and we couldn't do any of this without each other. So
yes.
True.
Actually, just so everybody knows, I encourage everybody to go hit the like page. The NBBA Women of Our League is their own Facebook page. They also, the Southwest Bombshells and the Dynamic Divas each have their own Facebook page. So everybody should go hit the like buttons on that so you could follow all these cool things that they're always working hard to put out. Is there anything else you guys want to part? I gotta let you guys go before Rebecca falls asleep. She was almost asleep.
Thank you for having us.
Thank us. Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
Neil. I do want to
really
mention.
quickly, we want to get Rebecca. Rebecca, she has a role too, and so do I. So I'll just go ahead and
Yes.
find out really quick because I talk fast. So I'm the treasurer in addition to the co-chair. So I'm a co-chair and treasurer.
Oh, okay.
And then Rebecca, you can do yours.
Yeah, I'm co-chair and also fundraising chair. And I can tell you, all of us during the Wool game are working our tails off, trying to figure out who needs to be where and what needs to happen. And
Yes.
so I think we more organize the game than we play it during
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the way events go. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of planning for a little bit of fun most of the
right.
time.
And Rebecca and Faith do a really good job at co-chairing, and like they're always running.
Yes.
Like when we're having a game, they don't ever sit. So
Right.
they do a really great job as co-chairs for sure.
They are
We're
excellent.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well,
Faith's being modest because she's the one that keeps us on task in our meetings.
She does, right?
Right, like she's like.
Aren't you supposed to do
She's
this?
the one that's being modest. She like, yeah.
She is.
She is.
I'm not bossy.
No, she's not bossy. She's like the mother hen. You know what I mean? Like she makes sure we get it.
Hey, Neil, I do want to say this. I know we're about to get off, but
no, you're good.
you know, as more women are coming in the league and all this, the one itch we need childcare. You know, we need a daycare. Like at the World Series.
At the World Series.
Oh my God. Thank you, Kalari. I forgot to bring that up.
This is a major issue. So we got more women coming in. So now we need a daycare, you know? We really do. Because we all got stories of how, I mean, I'm running the comments huddle and I'm bouncing my baby Kayla, you know, on me like, all right, comments on 3, 1, 2, 3, you know, as I'm bouncing her, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I know LaKisha got stories. Everyone has stories. Like, so yes. So
the babies are.
we
yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So
I think
Neil,
we would get more women in the league if we have daycare.
We need.
I'm only laughing, and I don't find I don't find the issue funny. I'm laughing because I'm hearing some weird noises.
I think that's Keisha.
Look, the daddies are getting the next ball. Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, you much better. Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that the dads, all you have to worry about is getting the next out, but the moms have to worry about why their baby's crying. And
Right.
Right. So we need some peace of mind, you know?
Exactly.
No, I mean, I've never had kids, so I never went into the World Series with that kind of stress. I mean, that's a much smaller level, but I did have a guide dog, and I way appreciaed not having the responsibility of my guide dog during the World Series, like being able to, drop my guide off at the doggy daycare, and I never even really considered the value in having the same kind of thing for the play, like for kids.
Yeah. Play, you can't play together because you're constantly passing the baby back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Can only one of you go in at a time.
Yeah.
Well, we're throwing it out here. I'm not on the tournament committee anymore, so that's not something I necessarily have any control over. But it's certainly something that should be floated to the tournament committee. I mean, beyond this show. I mean, I know millions of people are listening to my show every week, but but to really get that word out, I mean, that the tournament committee should be pressed on that, or at least be made aware of the fact that it's something that could be useful to a lot of players.
Yes.
I'm with you. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, I appreciate you all coming on. Each time I've ever reached out to Wool, I never know who necessarily is answering me, but you all are very quick. You give me quick answers. You guys organize stuff quickly. I appreciate how hard you guys work at making this happen. Appreciate it.
It's the mama hen. That's the answers you must.
I am not adopting that nickname at all.
No, but let's keep us grounded.
But I want to say thank you, Neil, for even thinking of us to be on your show. We really appreciate it.
For sure.
It's a great opportunity to get the word out about Wool and to get people more involved in it. And it's also a good opportunity to bring more people to listen to your show. So thank you for having us, and we'll be happy to come back anytime you want us to come back. Okay.
Exactly. I would like to point out that a lot of people forget about Wool. I don't know, but thank you for really thinking about us, because we do get forgotten about a lot. So it means a lot that you actually thought about us to bring us on today.
Yes, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Neil.
No, I mean, I appreciate that, and you're all very welcome. I meant what I said each time I've said it. I'm not just doing it to doing it. I feel like it's the right thing to do. So I'm trying to walk the walk. I'm not just going to say the words. I'm not, I'm not going to go away. I'll keep getting out there and parading with you guys until we get this going.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Rebecca, since you've been a fan of the show for a long time, I feel very confident that you know how I like to end the show. Am I right?
I think so. Well, you ask everyone who their beatball idol is.
That's
not how I end it. You're only getting
I know how you end it. I know how you end it. I do too. We say goodnight to Aunt
Auntie, yes. But you didn't ask us who our beatball idols were.
Yeah,
though.
you didn't.
Right, you did not.
In all fairness, I don't do it every single time, but let's do that. I got no problem with that. I'm gonna go in the reverse order of how I introduced you again. So I'm gonna start with you, Allie. Do you have any big favorites out there in the beatball world?
I mean, I'm still really new. I'm still learning names, still learning people. So at this point, I got to stay true to my Thunder, though. So I think my beatball idol would probably have to be the Indy Thunder team, because I can't pick one of my boys. So
that's fair.
And girl.
And my girl. I'm sorry.
That's
I can't forget my big sister.
And what about you, Rebecca?
Well, my beatball idol is actually on this call. It is Kalari.
Wow.
She is really the first beatball player that was a woman that I met, because I've been surrounded by guys my entire beatball career. So and Kyle introduced us. They've known each other for years, and he's like, "You have to meet Kalari. She's the most amazing beatball girl there is. You'll love her." And I the second I met her, I'm like, "Oh, we are gonna be good. We're gonna be best friends." He's like, "You are awesome." And so,
beatball girl, she's like 100 years old. We even beatball.
We're the same age, Neil. That is not even cool.
Kind of rude, actually.
I know, right? I know. I'm almost sorry too. Sorry. Keith Holmes, you got any favorites?
No, I don't.
Nah.
I mean, I like all the ladies. Of course.
All I could dig that.
For sure. I mean, I'm a newbie kind of sort. I've only been in the league for about 5 years. So I'm still learning everyone, but I have definitely learned, like, known or heard a lot about Kalari, you know, and Faith. Like, when I came into the league, everybody knew Faith and Kalari. So they were like, who are you? So it's like, I have a lot of catching up to do. So for sure, those two, they're like the GOAT, you know, the GOAT of people.
I think we all love each other.
Faith hasn't been around long enough to be the GOAT. Well, come on, we can't make her the GOAT.
I mean, she's been around longer than me. You know?
That's true.
So when I came in 14. Everybody knew Faith. They were like,
right.
You know Faith? And I'm like, yeah, I know Faith. I didn't know how big of a like
because if you came in 14, my first World Series was in 13. So you cannot tell me I was that popular in 2014.
No, everybody knew Faith when I came because I wasn't because there's not that many women. There's not that many women in the league, you know. So it's just Kalari and Faith.
Richie, he had stopped pumping you up the year before you came in. He was like, man, P. That's what he said. He's like, man, Kalari, my girl coming out, she could bang the ball and she gonna hit harder than you. That's what he said. I said, all right, I want to see her. That's Richie Flores.
So it's those two. And then as I became more involved with Wool, then I learned about more women, and I learned about Rebecca. And then, I mean, there's a lot of women out there, but those two are my main two girls. Sorry.
All right. Kalari,
now, if you're talking about guys, it would be Axel, of course, but.
Right. Kyle, of course.
Yeah.
You gotta go with your guy.
I've never heard of him. Is he any good? Kalari, who are your favorites?
Well, like you said, I've been playing 100 years. So I started modeling my game after David Smoker.
All right.
He taught me the line, and he actually was showing me how to dive. Like the first time a ball came out to me, I like squatted down. I was like, I got it. He's like, okay, pick it up. You gotta get off the ground. But David Smoker, he was teaching me defense, and so I always wanted to play like him. And then I then got the pleasure to play with L. Darnell Williams.
All right.
And I learned a lot up short.
That's one of our best. That was one of our best short men of all time.
Yes. So shout out to him. So I played up front with him, soaking all the energy. Then, so I heard that, and I was just impressed by Hoodlum, how fast he was. And you guys, Hoodlum was amazing. Like I just, you guys think Eric and them was good. Hoodlum was just crazy amazing, and so I looked up to that because, like I said, it wasn't too many like women for me, to look up to. And I heard about Debbie, Wichita. I heard about Carrie Wendell. Yeah. But I never seen them play. Now I played against Debbie. In fact, I think Debbie put me out one time, man. She got me. I was almost to the base, So
I'm terrible with
names. But I never played against Carrie Wendell, but I heard great stories about her. So
I'm terrible with names. I think Debbie's last name is Bremer or something.
Yes, I think so.
To that. But no, she's great. Talk about great short people. If I'm playing up short, she was great short fielder. And so was Karen Wendell. We talk about married couples. When the Indiana Eagles, I think they were called, won the championship in 1990. Jerry Wendell was their pitcher, and Kara Wendell was their best defensive player. And so they were a married couple. Which go ahead.
Talking about Wendell's, actually Bailey, their daughter is getting married to Zach Bueller on our team this Sunday.
I had no idea. I knew Zach was getting married to somebody named Bailey. I had no idea.
Bailey Wendell. This Sunday. So congratulations, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wait a minute. And look, they're getting married on me and Chris' anniversary. It's our 6-year anniversary on Sunday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But so those are my idols. And then, of course, my girls here, like Faith can crush the ball. Like I'm getting on her level. Like that's what I'm trying to be, like that. Oh. And so those are my idols.
Faith got popped.
Yeah.
So Faith, I don't even think we talked about it when you were on the show the first time. Who are some of your faves? Hello, Faith,
Yep.
we lost her again.
Uh,
She could probably hear us, but we can't hear her.
yeah.
Well,
Oh.
I will say one of her favorites all time, Neil McDonald, probably.
Okay, I'm back.
That's
All
all.
right.
I could not hear you guys. It was weird, but is it my turn yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first got started, Richie was pumping Kalari up. So Kalari was the first female I met. And I was like, I want to be like Kalari. When I first saw her play, I'm like, oh my gosh, her defense is the bomb diggity. I want to be like her when I grow up. So Kalari is my female idol for beat baseball. Always. And then for guys, I'm not really good with names, but all the people who I'm about to mention I played with before. So I really like Eric Mazerazzi. I'm messing his name up.
Mazariegos.
I like E10. I like him.
I heard Molly Fleming calls him E10. I was like, man, it'd be more appropriate to call him Eaton because he's always eating. Eric Mazariegos. Yeah, go ahead.
So he's really one of my favorite players. He's good in my opinion on both sides of the bat. He's a good hitter and he's an awesome defender. So I like him a lot.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna say this, but I feel like I shouldn't say it because they're already super cocky. But I like Axel Cox. He's really good on defense in my opinion. So I like watching him play. And then Zach. I'm not saying. But and then Zach A. I'm not gonna even butcher his name, but
Rambler.
Yeah.
Zach Rambler, right?
So yeah, he's a good offensive player. So I like those guys. And then if I had to choose spotters, then it's gonna be Money Molly. Money Molly is my favorite spotter.
Yeah, Eric said she's one of the best spotters he's ever played with. And
Molly is the bomb
diggity.
Yeah, Molly is the bomb diggity, and her husband Jono is really good too. So. Yeah, they're the bomb diggity. I'm not just saying that because they're part of the Blackhawks. They're just good.
Molly's a good pitcher too for the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I hear. I hear she's coming up. I was hoping she was going to be the pitcher next year at the A's tournament, but we'll see.
We shall see.
Exactly right. All right, ladies, I believe I have kept you long enough, so I will let you get back to your regular life. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Where I was going a little bit ago is the way that I like to end the show every week, and some of you came up with this by saying goodnight to Aunt Cindy. So
yes, that's her name, Cindy.
So I'm gonna count to 3, and if you all could tell Aunt Cindy goodnight, that'd be fantastic. 1, 2, 3.
Good night,
Aunt Cindy.